there is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
That means that we punched our ticket to go try to win the Super Bowl, and that's it. We got one game at a time, starting at 1 o'clock on Sunday. Love y'all, boys. Love you. Love you. I'll go to war with every single one of you, every game, all right? Love you, 1-7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Win.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can. Just tell me that I can.
It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights on the Buffalo Fan Base Network. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree to the TOP from the 313. And by my side is my main man, my Toucan Sam, the one they call the Apex Man, Mr. Mikey. Happy Friday to you, and happy Friday to all of Bill's Mafia out there. What up, Mikey?
How you doing, brother? Happy Friday.
Man, dude, I'm good. It's Friday. It's Friday.
I know.
We're here, right? Doing a podcast. Yeah. It's always good. Always fun. Kicking back, talking Bills football with all of the Bills Mafia. So, but man, dude, I was talking to you. I was talking to you before we went live. So, as you know, or as some of you guys know, I got a job where I basically do security on site, where I just sit there and for 12 hours in my car, bored as hell, and I've been watching old football. Buffalo Bills football, drought years. Yes, Mikey says not for me. I gotta say, I've been having a good time. I've been watching the wins, of course, the games we win. But man, it's crazy. I'll be honest, we had talent, we just couldn't put it together, and just bad coaching and bad GM and bad we could just never get it right. And of course, the quarterback position was probably one of the biggest reasons why we couldn't get it right. I mean, that was, I would say, pretty much up there with coaching because I'm telling you, Mikey, like when I watch these games, I'm like, damn, like we had some talent on both sides of the ball where you're like, okay, like I wish I could have this player right now on this current team. Like, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
but if you don't have the coach and you don't have the quarterback, you're fucked.
You know, would you love to have a Lee Evans, that burner today,
dude,
or a Roscoe Parrish, who was basically Isaiah McKenzie before Isaiah McKenzie, or go give me, Stevie Johnson and his route running and with Josh Allen,
shit.
Give me an Eric Moles.
Give me Takeo Spikes, London Fletcher, Nate Clements,
give me Kyle back on the inside.
Young Kyle, dude, so much. I mean, even the running backs, Fred Jackson,
Spiller.
Yeah.
I mean, going back that, we had Henry, then we had Spiller, we had McKay, we had Marshawn.
Yeah.
Fred Jackson.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
it was.
We had some really good players, but did not have a good team.
Peerless Price, even. I mean, give me the good years of Peerless Price. So we just, like I said, watching those games that I've been watching, it's just like it's so evident. The quarterback, the coach, like that was it. That's really what was holding back. Because if you go back, and the owner too. Well, the owner was old by then, obviously. But if you go back, like go further back, 2002, it was really the only time where we had somewhat of a good quarterback, on his last leg, Drew Bledsoe, right? Like in our offense was one, that was it. But my point is, after that, we didn't really, what would you say? Maybe Tyrod Taylor was our best Ryan Fitzpatrick toss up.
I'd say
after Bledsoe.
Fitzpatrick was probably the most talented of them that we had after. I would say Tyrod probably had the best situation.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, but still,
he had Pagula, he had McDermott, and he had Bean. Tyrod in that first year, to where he had stability that Fitzy never had. But Fitzy, man, like he would go from magic to tragic real freaking quick.
Yeah, dude, that was just shtick. Like, I haven't even gotten to his games, which I'm really curious about. I'm sure I'm going to be like, no, when it comes to Fitzmagic. But it was exciting. But it was also, you were living on the danger side when it came to Fitzpatrick. But yeah, I get what you were saying prior to us going live, that you don't want to sit through that nightmare of the drought years. But I think it's been a long time as far as the drought years go. I think a lot of fans are, that hurt, or not even hurt, that like disgusting 17 years, is gone by us. And I think it's okay to watch.
It's not even that. It's how, like, there was multiple times where we would be just bad enough not to make it, but or just good enough not to make it, but not bad enough to get the top 10 pick we needed to go get.
Right.
Bad Lewis, baby, Roy comes in,
Oh, God.
I'm talking about 3 first-round picks every year in a row, taking running backs. What are we doing?
We loved running backs for a period of time.
3 straight years, first-round picks.
No way we're doing that again.
It was wild. Because we went Spiller, McGahee, or went McGahee, Spiller, Marshawn, right? There's some form of that. But
I believe so.
What are we doing? 3 years in a row, we're taking a new run back. How about we let our last year's first round pick do okay?
I told you when I looked through this, history of like running backs in the Buffalo Bills, the only one that really lasted was Thurman Thomas. Outside of that, they've all been 3 to 4 year guys. All of them. Every single fucking one.
Freddie's probably been the longest.
Because Fred came back. But I'm talking about in a period of time, without leaving and then coming back. For Thurman Thomas, that was it. Everybody else 3 to 4 years.
We don't pay backs here at all.
We do not. No, we don't.
As Spence said, if you don't have a quarterback, you better have a running back. We made sure we had plenty of those. Like it was wild.
Yeah,
it was a wild time. I don't even like going down that memory bank because it just gives me PTSD, and I don't need that in my life.
I don't. It doesn't for me. It's kind of fun just to see the old play. Remember Rambo, Bakari Rambo.
Bakari, yeah.
Jerry's funny.
He was so good.
Bird was good. He was.
He was a ball hawk, man.
I think his dad was a player, right?
His dad was a player and a secondary coach.
Yeah. Just interesting to watch. So, anyways, yeah. So, Mikey, NFL news. We have some.
But
we do.
Did you have something that you wanted to talk about around that? Weren't you thinking about doing a show around that?
Yeah, guys, in the chat, I don't know if I'm going to do it. Would you guys be interested at all in watching old school drought years Buffalo Bills games, as far as like me doing a reaction to them, like a watch along / reaction? I wouldn't be showing us losing games we get blown out or anything, but games that we would win, obviously, I would choose. And it would be, I don't know, probably on a weekend, like a Saturday.
I might be willing if you watch it and you tape it and then you clip it down.
Yeah,
I might be willing to watch that.
They're short. They're about 2 hours. I would say you got to remember because they're cut up commercials and stuff. They're about They're about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours.
Sounds like I'd rather watch
paint dry. I'll be honest with you guys. Listen, it's actually I don't know, for me, it's not for everybody. Like I said, But when I'm bored in my cars, that's why I got to watching these games. They're funner than you think, just to kind of go back, because even laughable. Like I was telling you, like, yeah, I don't mind.
I can't do it.
Bro, so I was telling telling Mikey before, one of the games we played the Dolphins, and their quarterback was Joey Harrington, right? So bad. Nick Saban was the head coach. Just kind of fun to go down memory lane, and really, honestly, to see where we're at today. I mean, let's be real. It's kind of like, wow, like how far have we come from those years to those coaches and GM and quarterbacks to where we're at today. I know I give McDermott a lot of shit, but man, these coaches were so bad. And yeah,
Cole said he would watch it.
There you go, Cole. See, I'm telling you, I swear to you. You know what? I might do one just to see what the turnout is and see what the reaction is from you guys. So it is what it is. You don't have to. Obviously, you don't have to watch, but it's a Saturday. It's the off season. There's really not a lot, going on right now. And I just figured I would do something that people might get a trip out of, and nobody's doing it. So I might do it. We'll see.
Be like an old time show,
Yeah, an old time.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking, Mikey. Exactly. I was thinking about calling it like Flashback Bill Saturday or something. Yeah. Something like that. I'll come up with something creative and just watch some old game and have a kick. Because trust me, there's going to be some laughs, like terrible. Like there'll be a game where EJ Manuel is just really bad.
Notice McKelvin fumbles when you have the game sealed.
No, I won't play any losing. I am not doing that. It has to be a winning game.
John's like Browns 6, Bills 3. You true diehard if you stuck with that game. You know, G-Pit's in the house. One of our resident Chiefs fans who's in here. What's going on? Trex. What's going on, Trek? What other crown's next to our name? I don't know what the crown.
Okay, so I still don't really get it. It's a new YouTube thing they're trying, Mikey, where I guess it's like the more you guys chat, I guess you get points, and it's you get. I have no idea what the points even do for you. So, but it's something that YouTube's doing just to make the show more funner, I guess. I still don't get it. I don't understand
really, guys,
it. But
it's Tommy on his side grading you, so be nice to Tommy and you'll get higher points. Really.
Exactly.
So as Spen says, there's a reason why no one's doing it. That's why Spen's always at the bottom.
Maybe. I don't know. But they're on. Their games are on YouTube, so clearly somebody wanted to watch.
Big Papa Bill, what's going on? Welcome. Happy Friday.
Yeah, what up?
There are games from the Joe Ferguson era on YouTube.
Yeah, that I'm not going that far. I'm going to the Trout years, all right? I'm going back to 1970s.
That's right, Spen. That's why you're not number one. Because Tommy's over there great.
Exactly.
Okay, you want to go around the league?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's go around the league. We'll start with Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler did a podcast, and he's like, if Derrick Henry rushes for 2,000 yards, he's going to cast him in a movie.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Possibility of that is pretty high. So, Derrick Henry, get ready.
He just had a bunch of freaking players in Happy Gilmore too. Bunch of different celebrities in that. So,
possibility is high. Yeah, but that's tough to do though, back to back. Because did he get 2,000 line? He did, right? Or he came close.
He got 2,000. I
think he was short. He did
1,900 rushing.
So he's talking about total or rushing?
It just says if he rushes for 2K.
Oh, dude, I don't know. That's a toss up. I got to be honest with you.
At 30-something years old.
Right, and he's a little older. I still think he's going to be in that 1,600 range, 17, maybe 18, maybe.
I'm guessing he's between 15 and 17 this year.
I thought it was done all purpose.
Wear him down during the regular season.
Yeah, you're right.
They're going, he ain't getting no move for the playoffs. Take the ball.
Boy, he should have made it more reasonable. More reasonable for him.
Maybe he feels like Derrick Henry is that monster who's going to do it.
Maybe. I don't know.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Your favorite quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, signed with the Steelers.
What was the deal, by the way? What was the?
1 year,
what was
it just
the
says
one?
1 year. It doesn't give details.
A 1 year deal. It doesn't say the contract. I'm guessing 10 million, something like that, 10 to 15. Yeah. Terrible. If I'm a Pittsburgh fan right now, I'm pissed, Mikey.
I know. We talked about this off air.
Dude, I'm mad, dude. Like listen, man. At this point, I don't know what Pittsburgh's trying to do here. Like, are they just trying to keep Tomlin's win streak alive? Like, because that's what it seems like. Because it just doesn't make sense. Like, they're almost in that they're almost in that situation where New England was at, where Tom Brady left. They didn't have a plan, right? As Tom was getting older, Tom leaves. They get what's his name? Mac. What was his name? Mac Jones. Terrible, right? Pick, which and they've been in that. They finally found him, but at least credit New England. They kept trying.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has been in this. Now I know they went and got Pickett, but they didn't try again. Right? They went out and got old ass Russell Wilson, and didn't work.
I thought they were going to go with Fields, which I thought was actually a smart move.
It would. Yes.
Then they played Russ over him. Even when Russ declined and you saw him declining, they still didn't put.
They
Fields
still,
back.
yeah, and they didn't even re-sign him. They didn't even give him an opportunity. So then that tells me, okay, maybe they're going to go to quarterback. They're going to figure something out in the draft. They didn't.
Well, they did draft Will Howard.
Yeah,
the national championship winning quarterback.
Yeah, but come on.
I'm a fan of Will Howard's game. I think he has a chance to be something.
Maybe. I just don't.
It's
now, if that works out,
opportunity though.
Yes. Now, I will say this: if their plan is to have Aaron Rodgers be like the Alex Smith, you know what I mean, of the year, like how Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, fine. But I don't see it like that. I feel like they're going to be a 9-win team, another bad draft, selection, because there's in that range of what, 15, 20. Yeah, early 20s. Yeah. And it's just, what does it do for your team? Like, what does Aaron Rodgers do?
AFC, I hope they keep screwing up.
I hope so too. I just don't, like I said, if I'm a Pittsburgh fan, I don't see the benefit unless, like you said, maybe it's for the rookie but I asked this, what did he do for Zach Wilson? You know what I mean? Zach Wilson got cut a year later. So is Aaron Rodgers really that guy that you wanted to go in there and the young guy to look up? I don't know. I don't think so.
I'll tell you, I think this was an owner signing. I told you that from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think this was an Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin signing. I think they're fine when the owner said that's who he wanted. But it's a legacy play from the owner. They want to be able to say they had Aaron Rodgers on their team.
Yeah, I just, once again, I don't get teams, Mikey, that are continuing to do this quarterback musical chair with these veteran or quarterbacks that are continually to get traded, like Derek Carr. Like, these teams keep doing it, right? Or who's the other guy? What's that? Oh, I was about to dance. You didn't want to see
that was the Mortal Kombat.
All right. Who's the other guy? Not Derek Carr. Who's the other guy he's floating around? The guy that played for Minnesota for a little while. Kirk Cousins. He's another guy that floats around team to team. I don't get why teams just don't go back to the draft. If you draft the quarterback, doesn't work out, draft again. And if you fail again, the owner needs to get a new GM. Right? And you got to keep trying until you hit. You can't you can't just forget about it and say, you know what? We're just going to sign Tom Brady, who's 40. Dude, you got to keep going through the draft until you hit. I know it sucks and know it takes time, but you cannot keep playing this game with your fan base, hoping something sticks or one of these guys work out for 1 year. It's not going to work. I feel like the Lions are playing that dangerous game.
This is what I find funny.
With Goff.
Because you keep saying you can't. Obviously they can, because they keep doing it and the fans keep buying the stuff for it.
True.
It's a money grab. It's a business.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, for outside looking in, I feel what you're saying, but I just feel like it's just the wrong way of going by it. You know what I mean? But I get what you're saying. I totally do. Listen, Bills were guilty of it too at times, bringing in quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Like it just, I just don't like it.
It's just constant recycle. You know,
what
that tells me is there's not 32 good quarterbacks. That's what that tells you.
They're definitely not. But but once again, like teams like Arizona, I respect, because you know what? They got it wrong and they went right back to the draft and did it again. That's how you do it. You know what? Admit your mistake.
Took Lance.
Oh, you're right, Trey. Yes, I forgot about that.
Overall, and then drafted Purdy in the 7th and quickly turned to Purdy.
Yeah, and got something back in return.
Yeah.
Even Arizona got something back in return.
3 first-round picks they gave up for Trey Lance, but
but you know what? At that point,
when the Cardinals did it and they traded Josh Rosen, they got a 2nd-round pick from Miami. A
steal. I mean, it's steal. They stole that.
Think about how the Bills' fortunes would have changed if we would have taken Josh Rosen that night.
Oh my gosh. I would have been open to show talking about the drought years in 2023.
I'm not sure I'd be on the show because I might have we
would have been watching.
I don't know if I would have been watching Bill's podcasts and stuff back then.
We would have been watching a 2022 game on Saturday.
Right. Cole comes in and says, do you guys think Tomlin's out if he can't win a playoff game this year? No.
Nope.
The Steelers don't fire coaches. They just don't.
Yep.
I really don't think, I think at some point they're going to say, okay, we got to draft a young one and hope we hit. Steelers are never bad enough to draft a top QB prospect, or they're never willing to trade up and give up enough assets. Very much like Brandon Beane. He's not willing to give up the assets to go up and get the guy that he needs.
Right.
Do you guys, the Bills go after Trey Hendrickson and both hurt? No. We don't have the cap room to go after Hendrickson. I would love to go after him. I think he'd be fantastic. We just don't have the cap room for him. If we can find a way to make it Madden.
Got a super chat from Cali Blitz, my dude, Cali Blitz.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I appreciate it, Callie. And by the way, I hit you up on YouTube and thank you from last week. I don't know if you got my message, but you know what? No, on the regular season, because I just can't do it. I can't. But I will probably more than likely do all the preseason games. Because why the fuck not? Right? Like what?
We did one last year. It was
fun. We did one. It was fun. That's what I'm saying. So I may do all of them. I mean, who cares, right? There's only 3 of them. And not only that, you got the hard knock kind of thing going on. So it might be kind of fun, with that added to it. So, to answer your question, no on the regular season. Yes, more than likely on all 3 preseason games. And I'll probably be doing some kind of content, on the hard knocks, like doing a recap of the show. So look for that too. I'm thinking about doing that as well because people want to hear about it. Not everybody has HBO or whatever. So just a heads up on that as well. But I appreciate you, Callie.
Yeah, my piece on that spin was they took a shot. And I was telling Tommy this when we were talking about Aaron Rodgers. If I needed a quarterback, I'd use high picks. I'd use low picks because you never know. I would just keep taking swings. Take 1 or 2 every year until you hit on it.
Yeah. I mean,
Cleveland guys you get late.
Right,
how many late guys you cut every year? Take the swing on the quarterback. See, till you have one.
Absolutely. And there's some guys that go late.
You, Mr. Patriots 12. We appreciate
you.
Hey,
appreciate it. 0 ring bills. Yeah. That's a great comment. That's a great comment.
You son
of a bitch.
I don't play for him, so okay. I root for him, but if even they win the Super Bowl, I'll be happy. But I'm not getting nothing out of it other than watching Tommy get a Mick Clappy tattoo.
Right? Yeah. Oh my
That's what I'm
God.
getting out of it. Oh, let's look at Bailey Zappi, baby. Let's look at Bailey
The
Zappi.
Zappy man.
Tommy's favorite. Many Bills fans wanted Rosen over Allen. They did. God,
Dude, I still can't believe that. And there's videos of fans booing the pick, which is I would love to interview if I could find one of those people.
Like one of the ones that were on video when they dropped his head, threw his hat.
Just to get, just to ask why. One, did you think Rosen would be a better pick? And two, what was the like?
Josh has a lot of prospects coming up.
Yeah, but I would like to know, like, what were you thinking? And then what were you thinking? Like, what was the backlash after from people that seen you on YouTube or Twitter? Like, did people let you have it throughout the years? Because I'm sure somebody knows a few of those people on video, and they have to give them shit.
Yeah.
Trust me. Like, if you were on there, for instance, Mikey, if you were one of the people, I know you weren't because you were Allen like me, but let's say you weren't.
Allen or Jackson. I said I wanted.
Let's say, but I'm just saying, if you were on a video booing and you're like, Rosen, I would probably give you shit every
That's fine. Listen, I dropped my head when we drafted. Who was it? Who was that we drafted? Kyer. I was right on that one. I was pissed when we drafted Kyer. I wasn't happy with Coleman.
Wasn't happy with Boogie either.
I wasn't happy with. Oh God, I was pissed about Boogie. Wasn't happy with Bernard.
Yeah, and we were wrong on that. We both have to eat crow on that. Yep.
Yeah. You know, I wasn't happy on Dorian Williams because I wanted Dylan Parham.
I'm with you too. I mean, that verdict's still out, but he is taking a step forward. So we're looking to be wrong on that.
So I'm wrong on some of those. Like,
sure,
you know,
sure.
I wasn't overly fond of the Harrison. I wanted Trey Amos. So as Spence said up in the top, find out who Mikey wants and just know that's not who we're going to get. Because we never get the guy that I want, ever. You're 100% correct. Jubin says teams are scared about the draft quarterbacks. I don't get it. I would just keep swinging until I got one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why do you put your – that's what I'm saying, Mikey. It's like, to me, it's like these owners just want to, like, sell the fans on, hey, we got Derek Carr. You know, like, this guy's been around. The guy's throw 4,000. Like, you know, we can win with Derek Carr this year. You know, stop it. Stop overselling it. Stop it. It's not – there's a reason why Derek Carr's floating around every 3 years, 2-3 years. There's a reason why Aaron Rodgers didn't work out for the Jets. There's a reason why Aaron Rodgers, the last 2 years in Green Bay in the playoffs, was not very good. Like, there's a reason why these guys are getting floated around. Like, you have to young. You know what I mean? Like, listen, it's different, and any other position, Mikey, is different. Any other position. You could sign an old-ass guy, and I'd be like, you know what? He's an agent.
That's not true, because you've been pretty pissed about Bean's way of building until
but that's not the leader of your listen, a quarterback's your main, like, that's your main part of your team. Like, you cannot just float anyone out there and be like, hey, fans, we got this. Like, and we're getting Aaron Rodgers. Like, come on, man. Like you said, that's an owner decision to you know, get the fans excited somewhat for football. Listen, fans got to be realistic too, Mikey. I think fan bases sometimes are very unrealistic on how football works. There's going to come a time where your team's going to have that down year when your quarterback gets starting to get old or whatever's happening, and you're going to have a year or two where it's a little bit down, and you're going to have to find that quarterback again. You're going to have to, you know, it happens. It happens to every team. But if you continue to keep shuffling quarterbacks, these aging quarterbacks, you're always going to be in that 8-9 wins, just barely making the playoffs or just barely missing. But now you're out of the top 15 draft picks. Like, you're doing a disservice to the team. It makes no sense. So I'd rather my team just suck a couple of years, pile up your draft picks, do it right, and then you go from there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess
I want to hit on a couple of the comments.
Yeah,
so one of them said, if we would have drafted, you know, Rosen rather than Allen, there's a chance that we get Burrow in 2022 rather than.
We don't know that though.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't know that though. That's the problem. Like you never. I mean, there's a possibility, but you never know. Once again, they're going to put the backup. I'm just saying, you never know. We could say
there's a good chance that happens.
There is a good chance because Arizona wound up.
Or 20 was it 2020? Yeah, it's 2020, not 2022.
Yeah, there's a chance, but once again, you don't know that though.
No,
you know what I'm saying? We don't know. So, but you're right. There would have been a good chance because I don't think we went with Rosen.
It said there's no way McDermott and Bean's still here if they drafted Rosen in 20,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
over Allen. Right. Neither one of them still here.
I am curious. Like, let's ask this to the chat, and I'm going to ask you first in the chat. Mm-hmm. Very curious. If hypothetically we drafted Josh Rosen, hypothetically, how long? How long do the Bills stick with him? One, and is McDermott and Bean still here after that?
I think they stick with him for 2 years because the first year the team was just hot garbage. And Bean said that he didn't do Josh in
2018, right?
Like, I think year 2, but I don't think we make the playoffs year 2. And no. I truly believe that, they're probably gone after year 3. Year 2, I think Rosen's gone. And whoever our backup was would probably have taken it. But that defense was so good, we still would have probably won a bunch of games.
So you think 2 years would have been the minimum they held on to Rosen? Because I don't know, man. I almost think they might get him a little long, but maybe you're right. I was just curious on what you thought.
Going into year 3, they would have realized he just never was going to get it. Okay. See, with Josh, they knew it was going to take him time coming in because he's so raw. And you saw growth every time. You saw the flashes of the rookie. Then you saw him grow every year. Yeah. Rosen walked through the door and he had that attitude about him and, couldn't get along with his teammates and just wasn't good at all.
No, yeah. And I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind a quarter or any player coming out saying you made a mistake. I should have been drafted whatever pick or first round. Like, okay. But if you're going to do that, boy, you better back it up. And Rosen did not back a statement up. You know what I mean? And that stuck with him. Believe it or not, people remember that shit. You know what I mean? Like, if he would have been more humble, I'm not saying people still wouldn't have been like, damn, draft bust, but people do remember that. That stays on you. So, watch what you say. You've already backed it up.
Can you imagine if we would have passed on Mahomes in 17 and passed on Josh in 18?
Oh, my
God. There's no way McDermott survives that.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. He doesn't survive that because you're right. I didn't even think about the Mahomes thing. No, there's no way. They're not here. They're not here.
For them to get Mahomes.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're not here. They're gone. At least McDermott is gone because that was a McDermott decision in 2017, right? To pass on Mahomes at that time.
Yeah. They weren't ready to take a quarterback yet.
Right.
Like, I understood why he passed.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I also think Mahomes became Mahomes because he landed with Andy Reid and in the right spot.
I do too.
Really, it's fit.
I'm with you.
Teams fail quarterbacks more than quarterbacks fail teams. I
agree with that. I agree with that to a point. I think there's just some quarterbacks that are just bad. Mm-hmm. Right? Like they were never going to be good. But I do agree there is talented quarterbacks that get placed in terrible situations and they lose their confidence. They lose everything. And also too, they're expected to be so, to be the man and they're the franchise. Like they're expected because they're high picks, but they're going on just terrible teams, terrible coaching. Like
Jets have done that to how many quarterbacks?
Oh, dude. But they've also picked bad ones. Like, let's be real. Zach Wilson's bad. He's just a bad quarterback, right? I don't care what situation he landed to. I don't think he was good. But like we said earlier, okay, draft again. Mm-hmm. Draft another one. You don't need to stick with Zach Wilson and go to Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, what? Okay, he's not good. Matter of fact, if you go back to the Zach Wilson thing, he was already having issues right away. Cocky. In the locker room
that Rosen had coming out.
Yeah. Okay. If I'm the Jets GM, I'm going, nope, this guy's we're going to draft another quarterback next year. Let's trade Zach Wilson. Exactly what Arizona did. Let's get rid of him while he's
I'm
little
not
bit.
sure I would have ever drafted him.
But you already made that mistake, is my saying.
Yeah.
Just like Arizona. Okay, you know what? If I'm the Jets, we got some value still on him. Let's trade him away, like Rosen. We'll get a second-round pick, and we'll go for it again. Let's trade it. Let's draft again. That's what they should have done, but they didn't. They went out and got Aaron fucking Rodgers. They got set back 2 more years. It's just so stupid.
I saw a comment in here that said the Bills drafted JP, and then the next year Aaron Rodgers fell to us, and we passed on him because we took JP the year before.
I know. It happened. Hey, listen, by the way, guys, I was a JP fan, but
now
I'm
it could
with
be
you.
worse on the Mahomes front. It could have been worse. One, we got Josh the next year, so it worked out. But what if you were Chicago and you took Trubisky over Mahomes?
Oh my God. Right. There's a lot, and by the way, there's a lot of that's happened in the draft. Not just the Bills. Guys, we can go back like history of time where you're like, holy shit, this guy got passed for this guy got passed. This guy went before this guy.
Cleveland,
even in the 84 draft, there was the Jets quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Went before Marino, I think.
Yeah, Cleveland and the Broncos and the Jets all passed on Josh too. And 2 of them took quarterbacks.
I know.
So Baker's good now, but
he's good now.
He wasn't.
But great example, by the way. You just said it earlier when you were saying going to a bad team because sometimes Baker Mayfield was thrown into a shitty spot, right, with a terrible coaching situation. So, and I'm not saying I think Baker Mayfield still today, even though he's gotten better since he's left, I still think he's up and down, right? He can get hot and cold, right? He's just not consistent. That's my problem with Baker Mayfield. But he's still much better than he was away from Cleveland. You know what I mean? Cleveland was a place if you were a quarterback, you go there to die.
But you go back to this G pick, we say Mahomes is cocky as hell too. But Mahomes had the talent and landed in the right situation. Mahomes landed with a playoff team, and he had Alex Smith as his mentor. A lot of these guys, you go back to Wilson. Wilson didn't have a mentor when he got there. Some of these guys just didn't have those veteran guys to take the young guy under his wing. And let's be honest. Mahomes' talent versus these other guys' talent is way different. Mahomes was stupid talented coming out. The question about Mahomes was, can you control him? And can you harness it? You know what I mean? Because in college it was, he was just such a off-platform player all the time, and Andy Reid was able to. Alex Smith's a big reason for his success. And Patrick Mahomes says that. Alex Smith showed him how to be a pro. Showed him how the game works. How
Alex
you be
Smith,
professional.
To me though, Alex Smith was a perfect mentor. But his personality, his just being a former first round pick, you know what I mean? Like I feel like he was humbled by then. He knew the game. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't this arrogant, cocky veteran quarterback like a Rod. You know what I mean? Like
he wasn't coming out.
That's what I'm saying. But he was the perfect guy to mentor for the first year, Patrick Mahomes. That's what I'm saying about. I don't think Rodgers is Alex Smith type where he's going to do that. You know what I mean? Or be that guy. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? I don't see Russell Wilson being that. Matter of fact, look at what's his name for Cleveland. Remember we talked about it, I think last Friday. The quarterback there. What's his name? The Flacco. I don't want nothing to do.
I'm not a mentor.
Yeah. It's like, so it is. Listen, at least he's honest. And I'm telling you, I think Aaron Rodgers feels the same way. You just don't say it.
This is great.
What not to do.
Josie Allen not to do too. Yeah, throw 5 picks and a half.
I'm gonna go in there, right? That was our plan all along. That was the plan all along. McDermott's like, all right, listen, we're gonna have Peterman go out there and just kind of show him
MVP Peterman.
Yeah, we're gonna have him go out there. Here's the plan, and we're gonna have him show what not to do. How terrible quarterback play is like.
And then they're like, we're going to give Josh the worst offensive line, the worst receivers ever. So when we get him decent guys, he's going to feel like we've given him everything he could possibly want.
He's tough. He has tough skin now his first year.
Yeah. All right, let's finish going through around the league.
Yeah, go for it.
The Rodgers thing took us down a rabbit hole. Says quarterback Wilson, a mentor for all Giants quarterbacks, not just Dart. So Wilson's mentoring Jameis.
Yeah.
I would love to be in that locker room with those two guys. Complete opposite.
Total opposites.
Total opposites.
Both very confident, by the way, though.
Yeah.
They're the same. Yeah.
Colts quarterback Richardson sidelined with a shoulder injury. Won't be back until camp.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but
Josh Allen is going to get GMs fired because they thought Richardson could be the next Josh Allen. They already did it with Trey Lance, and now they're doing it with Richardson. Like, Josh Allen's going to get GMs fired.
Yeah, I get you. I never liked that pick, by the way. Never liked that. Right? I just don't see it.
The Mayfield pick was better than Manziel pick. Touche. But Mayfield went number 1, and Manziel went in the 20s. So,
exactly.
From ROI, it wasn't. The return on investment, not even close. Especially when you could have had an Allen. Although I'm not sure Allen becomes Allen if he ends up in Cleveland.
Yeah, you may be right. Who knows what happens if he ends up in Cleveland
or with the Jets.
Or the Jets. But Manziel, I feel like was more of a hype. When you're talking about the hype, the hype bust. I think they knew in a way what they were getting. But it's more like they were selling it to the fans, and they were hyped. Everybody, come on, it's Johnny Football, the Heisman. You know what I mean? Of course, they're gonna sell tickets. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was more of a let's see what we can get. I think they knew the deal though. They knew what they were getting, mm-hmm. and I think Manziel said it best. He didn't want to really play. He didn't like the NFL. He liked college. You like the party. You like to have a good time.
Like, he would have done well in the NIL era.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's going on now. He would have stayed. He would have stayed all 5 years.
As long as he could. Yeah. Yeah.
Got paid millions to be, Johnny Manziel. The money man.
The money man.
Yeah. Spence said Wilson's having his teammates call his agent to be able to talk to him. Jesus. Right? Yeah. Manziel was just playing drunk and coked up all the time. And that works in college. That doesn't work in the pros.
He was like, yo, what's going on? We don't do this here? Oh, man.
Manziel will be the first 15-year red shirt. Because here's what's going to happen. They're going to stop, putting eligibility on college players at some point with NIL.
Well, I've heard, when I listen to sports radio, I hear there are certain players that they somehow do something where they wind up being on a college team. It was because of COVID, so they got an extra year. So they had a redshirt injury, they had a regular redshirt, and they had a COVID, so they could have up to 7 years. Didn't the wrestler that tried to make our football team went back to college 1 year?
Yeah. Not only that, but the quarterback that the Falcons just took in the second round was a 7-year college guy.
Wow. That's wild. It's just wild. Oh my God.
Did they give Watson that contract so the fans give them for Whedon and Quinn? God, no, because they made him look worse. That Watson contract's the worst thing they ever did.
Oh man.
G-Pick, you wanted Manziel so bad. Oh no, I wanted no part of Manziel. I knew he was in trouble.
See, but because he was he was a personality. You know what I mean?
He's like, that's what we're starting for a quarterback.
But yeah, terrible. Bad pick.
Yeah. We need to stop letting people transfer schools mid-season. The whole transfer portal is wild.
That is wild too. Yeah.
Yeah. Penix was in college for a long time, like 6 years. Yeah.
Yep.
Penix is like the same age as Tremaine Edgman is now when he came out of because Edmonds was like just got his.
Edmonds was young,
he was
right?
He was like 18 or 19 years old.
Yeah,
when we drafted
he was
him.
very young.
So young. Chiefs wanted to get Geno Smith.
I'll give Geno credit. I thought that guy would be a total bum.
He was a late bloomer, man. He really was.
He was a late bloomer. Yeah, I still don't think he's.
I mean, he went to both New Jersey
great,
teams first, and just couldn't do anything there. And then when he ended up with Seattle, he got into an actual system and organization that helped him grow. Exactly.
So I like I said, I still don't think he was anything great, but he really took his game to a different level when he got to Seattle. You know what I mean? He at least showed something, and he got paid, by the way, got a contract. So
yes, man. And NIL makes some professional players. Like it's gonna be wild. Pete Carroll did save him, and that's why he's with Pete Carroll again. And in Vegas, I bet you the Raiders aren't nearly as bad as they have been. No,
God, no, I don't think so either. Now, but they got a time. They got a window there on Pete Carroll though. He's not a young guy, so they got to. What I think what their goal is, I think in Seattle is they understand there's probably a short. The window is not. It's kind of closing there on the Pete Carroll. So what they're probably going to do is Pete Carroll's probably going to build something up, and then hand the keys over. Yeah, which if he could do that,
some young offense or defensive guy that they have like in waiting type of deal,
which is smart. He builds up the team with Brady, and he hand the keys over to a younger guy that's on the team, maybe an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and you go off into the sunset and go, hey, let me see what happens.
Probably do is they'll probably move into the front office somewhere, so he can still be around until he goes. Pete Carroll's gonna be a lifer in the game. He's not gonna go sit at home. He's just not gonna do that.
No, he's gonna he'll be part of the. Or I think he'll probably work with Brady somewhat.
He'll probably come down and do things with the team during like training camps and things like that. And T-Dubs, Geno Smith spends a nice long ball. He really does. Just be competitive, baby. Okay, let's finish this out. It's only taken us 30 minutes to get this far. Ravens assistant Chuck Pagano, former head coach, said no thank you when asked if he ever wants to be a head coach again.
I get it. Listen, man, being a head coach, some of these guys are just not built for it or made, or just, it's just not for them. Yep. They try, and I think it's very stressful. Like, obviously it is. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people looking at you. And like I said, man, once again, I just feel like some of these coordinators are just better fit being a coordinator or being a quarterback coach or whatever, tight ends coach. I feel like Ken Dorsey is meant to be a quarterback coach. I think he did a great job with Cam Newton, did a great job with Josh Allen, got high praise from two MVPs. Say what you want, but Josh Allen turned into an MVP, and Ken Dorsey's part of that, part of that Allen growth, and Cam Newton as well. So I think certain guys are just meant to be,
Chan Gailey.
Certain coaches,
yes,
offense coordinator,
Spags, the Chiefs defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that he's gonna be a defense coordinator for life because he
loves
and
that's fine. Yeah. So Cromer seems to be a guy that's going to be an offensive line coach, right? It seems like he's really good at it.
He was an O coordinator for a while, but now he's back to O line, and he's a legendary O line coach.
Yes, I'm saying stick to what you do best.
Mm-hmm. When you get into the coordinator and head coaches, your job title changes. You don't do as much coaching, and that's what Pagano was saying. He's like. When you do that, your time gets pulled to do all these other things. You don't get to coach football as much. And that's all I want to do now is coach football. I don't want to do all the other things. He doesn't want to be a coordinator. He doesn't want to be a head coach. He just wants to coach.
By the way, what do you feel about this guy, Wade Phillips? I think, you know what? I think he got a lot of shit. I'm going to be honest with you.
He's a legendary D coordinator.
Yeah.
He was average to below average head coach.
See, I don't agree with that. I think he was listen, here's the deal with Wade Phillips and how I see it. I feel like he got handed the keys to a aging fucking team after Marv Levy left. Okay. Didn't get a lot of help from the GM at that time to get young when he first started. You know what I mean? He didn't have much to go on. Quarterback was a fucking mess at that time. They went out and got Rob Johnson by the way, just off a playoff game that he played decent against us. Rob Johnson was never that great to begin with. Gave him a big contract. Then they forced his hand in the playoffs to play him over Doug Flutie, who, by the way, Doug Flutie wasn't all that. I watched a few Doug Flutie games while sitting in my car at work, Mikey. Another quarterback where I'm like, geez, he doesn't make the greatest.
He was better than what we had.
Yes, and the team, I'll say this about him. The team rallied behind, like they wanted to win for Flutie. I never felt like the team rallied around Rob Johnson. That was the real difference. You know what I mean? And Flutie just never gave up. I feel like Rob Johnson gave up on plays. So, anyways, I just felt like for his first 2 years to make the playoffs, Wade Phillips was pretty impressive for an aging team. You got to remember, like, Andre Reed was old as shit. Like, he wasn't even part of the offense at his last year here. And I don't know. I just feel like if I would have
the Bills. I'm talking about in general overall.
No, I'm talking about Bill. I'm talking about as a coach for the Bills. I'm not talking about coach overall. I just feel like if we would have gave him more an opportunity with a younger team, with maybe a fucking better quarterback, I would have liked to see what more. If he would have done better, you get what I'm saying? If we would have built more, like gave him more an opportunity with a younger team. I felt like we didn't give him that opportunity. If you remember, after Wade Phillips left, it's when the drought year started. That's officially when the drought year began.
Yeah, but he also was the vice president of football operations at the same time he was the head coach. So he had complete control.
Yeah, well, not so much if he didn't get to choose Rob Johnson.
No, I'm just saying. So when you look at it, like he was the head coach in 93-94, went 9-7 and 7-9 for the Broncos. Mm-hmm. Then he was the head coach for the Bills, went 10-6, 11-5, 8-8, and then he was gone.
That's not a terrible record.
Then he went to the Cowboys. He went 13-3, 9-7, 11-5, 1-7, then was gone. He was the interim head coach for the Texans, and 13 went 0-4, and then he was done.
Still not terrible.
But he could never win a playoff game.
I get that, but he did have winning seasons with all those teams.
Again, back to an average head coach.
I don't know about average. I think he was decent. I think he was pretty good. I think he was above average. I don't know about
if he was above average, he would have gotten more chances.
13 wins, 11 wins, 12, whatever you were just saying. Not bad. I'll take that all day. Take it all fucking day.
His overall record. Yeah. Was less than 500 though.
That's not. I get that. I mean,
he would have gotten more chances if he was that above average.
I'm just saying, from our standpoint, from Marv Levy to Wade Phillips, I don't think he was. I think he's got shit on a little bit too much. If you go past Wade Phillips before McDermott, my God,
he was the best of all the ones that we had.
Right. Give me Wade Phillips all the way up to Sean McDermott. I would have been fine with it. I don't care what his fucking records were. He would have done way better than Dick Geron and whoever the fuck, Malarkey. Like, trust me. I feel that in my gut.
Chan Gailey.
Listen, St. Doug.
Trek, I hate to burst your bubble. We're never going to draft a backup quarterback. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. We're not.
It's just not going to happen.
No, we're getting the 1 year cheapy deals.
And would rather take a flyer on a 7th round wide receiver that won't make the team or the practice.
Yep. I will say this though: in time, they will have. Listen, I was going to ask you that the other day. When do the Bills eventually? Because we just talked about this. This is what, like half an hour ago. Teams eventually have to prepare. I'm very curious when the Bills start to think they have to start preparing.
3 years.
Like what year? You know what I mean?
3 years from
You're
now.
saying 3 years from now?
When Josh is 32, they might start looking at a quarterback. Because let's be honest, Josh's style, he's not playing into his 40s.
Right.
Josh will probably make it between 35 and 37, and then he's going to be done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially with the money he has. You know? Yeah,
I'm with you.
He loves football, and he loves to play, and that's why he does what he does. But at some point, you know,
he's going to break down.
He's going to. He's the fact that he's been the start streak that he has is wild to me.
I feel like the Lions are making that mistake with golf. I feel like they're not preparing them. Like they have a guy, and they're in trouble, Mikey. I told you, I I don't see them as a 10-win team. I see them as a 9-win team. I see a major fall off with them. They just lost their center. Big loss for the Lions. Lost their offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They got a quarterback who is pocket passing only, aging. They have no backup plan. They haven't, they're falling in that bad category of watch out when golf's gone. You have no plan. They better start preparing. I'm telling you, it will be a crucial mistake in Detroit if they don't start preparing for golf's exit.
They're going to be Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and that's
Big Ben.
And good luck with that, Detroit.
Follow the Green Bay rule. About 3 years before when he's in his early 30s, draft a young quarterback in the first round and let him sit for a few years and learn.
Right.
And you just keep passing the torch down. Spence says at least the wide receiver has a chance. If you listen to anyone, and we talked, it's a part of the thing is talking about the OTAs. They said without Josh this week, the freaking offense has struggled. Every beat reporter has said if Josh has to miss any amount of time this year, it's going to be rough to watch that offense.
Oh, dude, it would be a disaster. We're a 5-1 team, maybe 6 if we're lucky. It's not good. Without Josh.
He makes that entire thing go.
Absolutely. He is the engine. I mean, if he's off that team, if he's not on it's a disaster.
Yeah. Lions do have a solid head coach. You pick. I agree with you on that.
Absolutely, they do. But I will say this about the Lions, though. He also built a great cast around him of coaches. Those casts are gone. Right? I have no idea what the new cast is going to bring because they all complemented each other very well. They helped him out a lot. I don't know if Dan Campbell, I don't know who took over OC or DC, but I don't know if time will tell if that works out because it does not all the time does that work out. The OC may be, have difference of opinion and not be a guy that wants to be always going for it on 4th down. You know what I mean? Like there may be disagreements. You know what I mean? He may not be like Ben Johnson was. So very curious with how the Lions look this year. I don't see them as a playoff team, which is crazy. Ooh. They got the talent. Yeah, I just don't. I see them as a 9-win team. Right. They got a tough schedule, bro. They got in a very tough division, Mikey. Very tough division.
T. Dobson says, I have a feeling Josh will retire after winning the Super Bowl, so next year he'll retire. That's funny.
I would be so happy we won, but if that happened, which it wouldn't,
you'd be so sad.
I would be so devastated.
Trick says, and don't forget, with the money Josh has, also the woman Josh has.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
More power to the guy.
Yeah.
And then my last one for around the league is 2 more. Lions St. Brown Ice training camp to return. He had knee surgery in this offseason.
Okay. And
then
that's good.
Derek Carr came out and said he retired and reworked his contract because he just couldn't steal money from Saints.
That was nice of him.
Not the
At
way
least he did the right thing then. That's good. I don't think he's coming back. He's one of those guys too. I feel like he's going to stay retired. Yeah, I feel like he knows the deal. He'll
probably end up in the media somewhere because he's really well spoken, like his brother.
Right. All right, we'll see. By the way, that movie Sinners with Josh's wife, pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Watched it. I did. Not bad. So I would recommend. It's worth the watch. I don't think it's the greatest film of all time, but it's a good movie to watch.
It says, not how we can't afford to have Josh retire. He'd have more dead cap than the entire team salary he would with that new $330 million contract that he's got this offseason. He ain't going nowhere.
Yep.
No time soon.
All right. Let's get to some segments before we run. Because Mikey, you guys remember, Mikey's on that West Coast time, so he hasn't eaten dinner yet. So we're trying to get these shows under 2 hours. Trying our best.
We don't do a very good job of it.
We don't. So we're going to get into segments. We won't ignore you guys.
The wild thing is we have a more structured show and take less time when we actually have stuff to talk about.
I know.
then when we don't.
These are just throwing up shit we do for 2-3 days. But you know what, man? The chat gets going, and we will never ignore the chat. But let's get to some. So, Mikey, that's it for that. So let's
spin.
Yeah,
Mikey's on the West Coast. That means he has 3 extra hours.
That's true. Let's get into some AI, Mikey. Okay. AI's taking over, baby. AI.
Iverson AI?
No, not that AI. So I asked AI some questions. By the way, if you want to ask AI, let me know. We'll pop them on here real quick. So first one I asked. Here we go. Should the Bills give James Cook an extension? AI, what does AI say? AI, let's go down here. Let's just scroll down, and we'll go to contract negotiations. So go ahead and read that, Mikey.
It says the Bills had talked with Cook earlier in the offseason, but the two sides were reportedly but never really close. To find common ground, Cook skipped out on OTAs in hopes of getting a better deal. There are several potential outcomes. One, playing out his current contract and entering free agency. The Bills trading Cook to another team. Cook signing a short extension. The Bills using a franchise tag. Cook signing a long-term extension. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here's the analyst. So while Cook's performance has been impressive, the Bills have been hesitant to meet his demands due to the team's limited salary cap space. And it says this is still below Cook's asking price of $15 annually. The AV, the Bills should consider. That's what they say. The Bills should consider offering James Cook a contract extension, but not necessarily at his asking price of $15 million. A more reasonable offer would be around 10 to 12 per year, considering the market value of other top running backs in the NFL, which is what me and Mikey have been saying. The contract negotiations, and this is AI, guys. Sorry, I didn't make it up. The contract negotiations between the Bills and James Cook are ongoing, and there are several potential outcomes. While Cook's performance has been impressive, the Bills need to be cautious with their salary cap space. A reasonable offer for Cook would be around 10 to 12 per year, considering the market value of top other running backs in the NFL.
Wrong.
And
they are wrong. Here's the problem.
Go ahead.
You have two corner, stone pieces on your offensive line that need to be signed too. You do not give $12 million to a running back when you have to sign your right guard and your center. Right. I agree.
Yeah, I like I said, I'm comfortable around the 10 range. But
like having a tight end making $14 million, having a backup tight end making $14 million. Yeah.
Right. So I was just interested to see what AI thought of James Cook. Do you have any questions for AI, Mikey, before we move on to, because I do want to talk. We were going to do the ranking, the 52 number one picks, and then we're going to do the last 25 years as well. So, and we'll go through that quick. But anything else you want to ask AI?
Because that's not going to be quick. So let's just get to it.
Exactly. All right, let's do it. So we'll do one of these per show. How about that? On the AI stuff. Okay. Exactly. Ask AI. So let's go ahead and share the screen. So we're going to start with this. It's a little older article.
Jim Pitt's got a question for AI.
Oh, does he? Okay, that's all right. We'll go to it.
Retire.
That's a great. All right. You know what? All right. Yeah, let me do that. Let's remove. That's a great one. So let me.
When is he going to say I've had enough?
I like that. I like that.
Stand
all right.
in the way of the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to retire and let them win.
I'm going to do it right now. When will Patrick Mahomes retire?
Fucking Patrick Mahomes.
All right. Here we go. All right. Let me present it.
Give Cook Knox's money. Yeah.
All right. Here.
Ain't going to happen.
All right. Key points. No definite timeline. It's not a specific timeline. He has a desire to play until he's at least 39. Family influence.
That's 10 more years.
Tom Brady comparison. Mahomes aspires to play as long as Tom Brady until age 45, but acknowledges the difficulty due to Brady's exceptional play conditioning and his own different playing style. which relies more on mobility. So let's see here. What else do they say? Family is a key factor. Health and playing style. It says Mahomes has been relatively durable, missing only 4 games since becoming the Chiefs starter in 2018. Though he played through a high ankle sprain in Super Bowl 57, his mobility, while a strength, increases injury risk compared to Brady, which is true, who avoided significant hits. Let's see here. So post-retirement plans. Mahomes has expressed interest in staying involved in sports. NFL general manager, blah blah blah. So so it looks like he's it looks like he's gonna be
around forever.
Ask AI. Will we move
when we move on from McDermott?
All right, let me. All right, this will be the last one. Let's see. When will we move on from McDermott?
The TB12 diet was HGH for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and avocado for a late night snack.
All right, so let's see here. So how should I word this? When will the Bills fire? How would I ask that question? How would I ask it, Mikey?
When will the Bills move on from Sean McDermott?
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. This is definitely a good question. All right, this is definitely the last one.
I cannot deal with fucking 15 more years of Patrick Mahomes.
All right, here we go.
He better not play as long as Brady did.
All right. Let me see if I can zoom that in any.
Casey hopes we make a Cook blunder. Yeah, they do.
All right. Let's see here. It's a little too big. It says McDermott, who signed a contract extension through 2027, has led the Bills to a highly successful era by historical standards, with a regular season record of 86-45 and a 7-7 playoff record. Since taking over in 2017, the playoff record's not. I don't like that. Let's see here. That said, there has been speculation about McDermott's job security, particularly due to the team's inability to advance past the Chiefs in critical playoff games. In October 2024, NFL insiders Jeremy Fowler and Dan Graziano noted external chatter about McDermott's potentially being on the hot seat if the Bills continue to fall short of a Super Bowl, with some viewing the Bills' head coaching job as a highly desirable due to Josh Allen's presence and the Bagula's family's patient ownership. However, Graziano emphasized that he has not heard any internal indications from the Bills organization that moving on from McDermott was consideration. Additionally, ESPN's Dan Orlovsky in January 2025 called the idea of firing McDermott I can't even pronounce that. What does it say? Preposterous, citing the team's consistent competitiveness and the need for defense improvements rather than a coaching change. But he's a defense.
Yeah, right. And his defense is what's let the team down.
Right. McDermott's supporters point to his role in transforming the Bills from an afterthought to a perennial contender. And that's the thing. They're sticking with that. It's ridiculous. With a culture of toughness. Is it? Are we toughness? And a roster built around an elite quarterback. Okay, that I get, but I don't know for a culture of toughness, but whatever. Who won the NFL MVP? Critics, however, argue that his postseason shortcomings, particularly against the Chiefs and occasional questionable in-game decisions, could put pressure on him if the Bills fail to reach a Super Bowl. Let's see here if they say anything at the end. In short, there's no clear timeline for the Bills moving on from McDermott, but his future likely hinges on playoff success in 2025 and 2026. Without a Super Bowl appearance, pressure may mount, but as of now, he appears secure heading into the 2025 season.
So that's great. Let's make sure Josh is 32 before we're even willing to look to possibly get a new head coach.
Oh my God, I like that AI stuff. Like we're gonna do that week to week.
I the AI segment too.
Yeah, it is fun because. By the way, I looked up our show, Mafia Sports Report. Is so funny. They're like, these guys they're not the X's and O's kind of guys.
We're not.
Oh,
that's what AI.
Like, thank you, AI. You are pretty smart, AI.
Are they trying to say we're dumb? what I said?
Yeah, these guys aren't the brightest podcasters in the world.
They're saying that we're football illiterate. Okay.
Yeah. People call them kind of idiots.
Tommy can have a Saturday show while you're watching that. It's called Let's Ask AI.
It literally said if you want to go to X and O's, go to Cover Watch.
Go see Tommy and Mikey.
But if you want if you just want gibberish nonsense, it's a great channel.
Mafia Sports Report.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Thanks, AI.
Thanks, Tommy.
Oh my God. Is this what the show's come to? All right.
Yes.
Anyways.
Yes, it has.
Oh my God. All right. Let's get to it. All right. Ranking all number, and we'll go. We won't like read everything. We'll go kind of quick on this. All right, Mikey. Can you see that or no? Is that good for you? Or you want it bigger? Zoom in more.
Zoom
Mikey,
in more. Be careful how you say stuff like that.
Oh, you're right.
Internet.
You're right. You're right. That's a great point. You want it bigger, man?
Careful how you say that.
You want it harder, bro? All right.
You're on the internet. Be careful what you're saying.
Right.
This is the kid-friendly show.
All right. Is this good? All right. Ranking. All right. So this is ranking all 52 number one picks.
Best number one pick.
Oh, man. I'll do it, but I won't show it on the screen. Bruce, that's actually a great question. Let's see. All right, let's see.
Bruce
Smith for sure. I mean, but I'll still ask AI. All right, let's just ask AI. Was Bruce Smith?
Tommy's cheating on Bill's wire.
better pick than.
The real question is, what does AI say about Buffalo Fanatics?
Who said that? Was it
you? T-Dubs asked that. It's right there.
I'm not looking. I'm looking over at this thing. Okay, look. Let's see what it's. I'm looking at the question.
You're asking me, Tommy. Does that sound like something I would ask?
I don't know. You're trying to get me in trouble here. Okay, here. Conclusion: Bruce Smith was the better draft pick for the Buffalo Bills. His longevity, defensive dominance, and role in elevating the team to a Super Bowl contending outweighs Simpson's spectacular but shorter peak. Simpson's off-field issues further tilt the scales. Oh, do they? As they diminished his long-term value to the franchise image. Smith's 15 years of excellence and Hall of Fame career make him one of the greatest number one picks in the NFL history, giving him the edge over Simpson's remarkable but less enduring impact, which is very true. Like OJ was great, but he had such a short run here, very short run.
Bruce
and then
Smith,
OJ, I would say this about OJ though,
sackmaster ever,
greatest, and I don't think that record will ever be broken. I don't care what anyone says. But speaking about OJ, I will say this: OJ, to be honest with you, was what a lot of players are doing now, getting the hell out of football early, paid, and going into like like movies or whatever. Yeah. So OJ saw the writing on the wall. He built up this big influence, right? Got all these commercials and movies. He was smart. He got why would he continue to play for? He didn't know. He was already considered one of the best Hall of Fame. He didn't need to play no more. So I think a lot of players now are doing that. That's why I don't think that record will be broken, bro. Players are not staying in the league long enough.
The people that got a shot, and we went through this. The only one that has a shot today is Myles Garrett, and I don't think he comes close to it.
I don't think so either. I think, matter of fact, Mikey, I'll even double down. I don't think he has a shot because he signed the stupid extension with Cleveland. And Cleveland's such a bad fucking team that he's going to wind up wanting to retire earlier. You don't want to continue to play for that.
Getting $45 million a year.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he'll take whatever.
Because Aaron Donald walked away early.
He sure did.
Had a shot.
He sure did, and he was on actually a good team.
Yeah.
So imagine being on a bad team. Like, come on, dude. You know what I mean? No, it's not going to happen. At least not in my lifetime. It maybe when I'm long gone, the game will change. By the way, Mikey, I got to say too, there's more games being played.
Yeah.
right, than when Bruce was playing.
There's
He's
about
like,
to be an 18 game introduced.
yes, exactly. So it's and these players still aren't even close. So what's that tell you? Telling you, it's a tough record to break, bro.
It's also a different era of football.
It is. I agree, but still,
It's a more passing era this year, and people aren't getting a quarterback.
Okay, but also it's a different era, and also medicine's gotten better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so just saying,
Bruce's longevity is what's so freaking amazing.
Absolute. Injured 1 year, Mikey. That was it. Other than that, he was every game pretty much. So that's unbelievable. All right, you ready to get through this?
Don't talk crap about Cleveland. They got Shador now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
All
right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. So this is so just to tell you, this is ranking all. So this is from the 2019. That's why we're doing two separate ones because I got a more current. But I like this one because it started with the draft era. So all 52 number one picks in the NFL's common draft era ranking. Okay, number one, Mikey. All right, here we go. 52, Jamarcus Russell.
He was the worst of them all.
He was the worst of them all.
Okay.
And by the way, this is NFL.com. All right. This isn't
I'm down with that. He was a bad one of all.
He was bad. Right. Number 52, Steve Ettman. You agree with that?
Okay.
All right.
I don't know who he is, so that kind of tells you everything you need to know.
Right. Number 52. Courtney Brown.
Number 50. So it goes from 52 down 50. So number 50. Courtney Brown.
Yeah. 49. Sorry, 49. Kajana Carter.
Yep. I agree with that.
The Bengals, 95.
God.
48. Kenneth Smith. Kenneth Sims. Sorry, defense end.
Couldn't even tell you who that was. I
don't know either. Oh, Tim Couch. 47, 99.
Okay.
Let's see. Next up, Audrey Bruce, linebacker for the Falcons. 46.
Linebacker with number one overall is fucking impressive.
Some of these, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Walt Podolsky, 1972 by the Buffalo Bills, buddy. We made the list.
You're on the list.
We're on the list. We made the list, baby.
No, good list
back to back. Back to back.
We went. Wait, that's 1979. What was the one above that?
1972.
Jesus, we didn't learn our lesson.
So Podolsky, not too good. Tom Cassanu, linebacker. I guess not too. He was a decent player in Cleveland, so he wound up being all right in Cleveland. But that first round pick, can you say Jim Kelly? I don't know. I don't know what they're saying. Eric Fisher, 2013.
Wow, Fisher actually was halfway decent. I thought.
It says Fisher is easily the most anonymous number one overall pick since Y2K.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Yep. Baker Mayfield. Ooh,
wow, I wouldn't put him that low either.
Now, remember that I want you to remember though. This is why I have two separate lists, Mikey. This is from 2019. The things have changed. So that's why I have another, thing. You know what I mean? Okay. So John, whoever this is, 73. Dan Wilkinson. Remember him? I remember him, defensive tackle for the Bengals. Now look at Myles Garrett where they have him. Isn't that crazy? Now things have changed, but in this time, I guess they felt like NFL.com 2019. This is going into the 2019 draft.
Right,
so this is an older
his rookie year.
I know. That's why I don't agree with that. I don't know what they're. It says Garrett went first overall 2017. Then we didn't hear about him much. That's what happens when you don't have a quarterback list on your draft
you hear about
card.
much, but he was getting 13.5 sacks a fucking year.
Yeah, Brown's going 0-16. Didn't really push Garrett's decent rookie season to the forefront of great football. So remember, this is early in his career. Things have changed. You know what I mean? So for sure, he's moved up. You know what I mean? On this list.
We all know what Tim did in the offseason. He sat on the couch.
David Carr.
Such a
38.
dad joke right there.
David Carr, 38. Man, remember him? Sam Bradford? Bad pick, bro. For the Rams. God. Yeah, that was not
Bradford
good.
was the last quarterback to get paid before they changed that rule, too. With the first overall pick getting, $100 million before he does anything.
Yeah, that was says Carson says he went to Vikings. Bradford just authored the worst year of his career, losing the Cardinals starting job to first rounder Josh Rosen in the third game of the season. I didn't even know that. Did you know that? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Bradford got hurt.
Okay, I didn't know he was on the team. I didn't even know.
He got hurt.
All right.
John says that's bull crap. You're telling me Clowney was better first round pick than Garrett?
Well, remember, this is 2019. That's why I have another.
Even in 2019, I'm not saying he's better.
I agree. And by the way, this is NFL's website. So
the NFL needs to go back and rewatch some history. That is.
Yeah. I agree. Ricky Bell, 36. Jameis Winston, 35. Ahead of Myles Garrett, which clearly that's wrong. Right? Jeff George at 34. Yeah, I think he should be way up, Matt.
Your rankings are off, Tommy. Your rankings are off.
It's not mine. Jared Goff. Wow, they got Jared Goff. Now, mind you, see how this has probably changed. I'm sure he's gone up. Jake Long. Do you remember him?
Before you move on, we have comments. T Dobbs, Aaron Maben was the Bills' first pick, not the number one overall pick. These are all the number one overall picks.
Correct. These are the first picks of the draft in the draft era. And this is an article from 2019. I have a current article but there's only 25 players. So I wanted to do 52. That's why we're doing this kind of first to see where it pans out. So Golf, he's gotten better. So at 33, yeah. Jake Long, do you remember him? I remember him because I live in Florida. He was a big deal. He wasn't a bad player, but he didn't work at first pick. Russell Maryland, I remember him because he played for Miami. I thought he was a good player. He was a good player. Hey, speaking of Clowney, there he is.
Clowney was not better. At no point has Clowney ever been better than Garrett. Ever.
No, and I agree. Not even here and this year.
Maybe in college. That was it.
I'm with you. It says he is now edge rusher has now made the Pro Bowl 3 years in a row, and increased the career sack total to 29. That's why Clowney continues to ascend past solid number one picks. I have to look back in this time to see if I don't know, but
yeah, John says Parcells tried so hard to get out of that first pick because of the money. The best thing Goodell did was, as a commissioner, was that rookie wage scale. It really was. Where's Tony Mandrich?
I don't know. We haven't passed him yet. Bo Jackson, 29.
He should be number one, really, but injuries cut his career short.
Yeah, dude, he was special, man.
He was.
28, Keyshawn Johnson.
Jesus.
There's no way Keyshawn Johnson is better than
Myles
Keyshawn
Garrett.
Johnson should be. Right. No. Or even fucking some of these other guys. Come on. Keyshawn Johnson. I don't agree. Michael Vick. Okay. I mean, he started hot, but obviously things happen with him. So
Michael Vick was electric.
But then he had that. He was electric, and then he had a moment, and then he came back, and
he was electric when he came back.
And he got the Eagles job actually. Took over for McNabb. Actually stole McNabb's job. It's funny. McNabb actually got him on the team. He wound up taking McNabb's job.
Vic's too nice.
Mario Williams, ex-Buffalo Bill, drafted by the Texans. He was awesome in the beginning.
He was good until the end when he got hurt.
Exactly. Yeah. But he was, bro, I love when he came.
Low is wild.
When he came to Buffalo, you put those contacts on, those red contacts. Dude. Vinny Testaverde, 25.
You're trying to tell me Vinny Testaverde was better than Mario Williams?
Just telling you. It says Testaverde not only played until he was 44, but he threw for 46,233 yards and 275 touchdowns. Wow. So maybe, Mikey, because of the time frame using
he was not bad.
44. That's old, Mikey. I get what you're saying, but damn, he lasted a while. Irving Fryer, Patriots. Yeah, he was pretty good. Don't know who this guy is. Hey, Alex Smith. We were talking about him earlier. What do you think about Alex? 22.
I love Alex, but he wasn't better than any of those guys we're talking about.
I know,
Alex Smith is fantastic.
I'm with you.
Better.
Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer.
No, but not ahead of some of these other guys. But he was good. You're right. The Bengals had some pretty good quarterbacks, if you think about it, right? They went from Palmer to Dalton to Burrow. That's not bad. That's not bad, right? If you think about it, Mikey. Like that, they done pretty good job in the draft. If you think about it, the Bengals through their quarterbacks. Plunkett at 20. Bubba Smith, 19. By the way, before we get to 1, and I'll ask the chat because we're almost there. Who do you think NFL has as the number 1? Go ahead, Mikey.
Peyton.
You think Peyton? All right, chat. Who do you think on this article NFL has listed as their number 1 in the draft era as their number 1 best first pick? So you're going Peyton Manning over Bruce Smith?
Yep.
Okay.
I think that's who the NFL has.
Okay, I'll go
Not
Bruce
who
Smith.
I have.
Who do you have? Who would you take? Bruce?
The greatest number 1 overall pick?
Since the draft era. Remember, draft era.
Man, I would say it's either Peyton or Bruce. It's so hard.
Somebody said Elway. John's going Elway. Oh, I mean, I guess. I mean, Elway was Super Bowl champion.
Better than Elway.
All right. Nate Peterman wasn't the number 1 pick. And if he was, God help us all. All right. Bubba Smith, 19. Steve Bartowski, 75, 18th. Hey, look at that guy, Mikey. Drew Bledsoe coming in hot at 17. What do you think? You think Drew's worthy of 17?
No.
Mikey gets so mad. Why not? What's going on? He did throw for over 4,000 yards in Buffalo. So it's right there. He put together 5 game-winning drives and in his only full season as starter in Dallas, Mikey.
Woo. Good fucking job.
He also led New England to Super Bowl XXX1. How about that? Matter of fact, he did. Didn't he go in for Brady when he was hurt in the playoff game?
Championship game.
Hey, come on. You got to show him some love.
Super Bowl. Tell you everything you need to know.
Show him some love. Andrew Luck, 16. You agree?
Deion wasn't the number 1 overall pick.
No, he wasn't. Andrew Luck, you agree? 16. You like him around there? This year? No.
He didn't play long enough to be over those other guys. No.
Right. Why you get so mad? Billy Sims, 1980s, coming at 15. Cam Newton at 14. Mikey.
Jesus Christ, no. Holy crap.
Matthew Stafford,
yes.
13. Okay, so Mikey finally agrees with something. So Stafford's in that range where you're happy. Okay.
Yeah, Stafford's
Eli at 12.
No. Outside of his 2 Super Bowl runs, which he was carried by a defense, Eli was an average quarterback.
So does he? Where would you put him on here? Like, where would he belong, you think?
He would probably fit between
30s, 40s,
and 40 somewhere.
Mikey is very mad at some of these. Okay, and Too Tall Jones coming in at 11. All right, Orlando Pace, 10. You like that? He was a hell of a player.
Dude, he was so good.
Hall of Fame. Yeah. So that's right? You would give him that. I would say yes.
Aikman up there. And Aikman would deserve to be up there.
Never heard of this guy, but I'll believe him. Right. Leroy Solomon. Never heard of this guy either, but I'm sure he's good. Ron Yeri. Earl Campbell. Okay, I'll give him that at 7. O.J. Simpson, Mikey, coming in hot at number 6. What do you think? You like that? Yeah. Okay. Mikey agrees. Troy Aikman coming in at 5. Mikey says yes. So we're getting hot now. Mikey's agreeing now. Coming in at number 4, Terry Bradshaw.
He was not better than some of those other guys.
So no, but he belongs top 10 somewhere, you believe?
Yes.
I mean, he's Bradshaw. Okay. All right. Number 3. Somebody said
he's not top 5.
Somebody said number 1 earlier in the chat for John. He's number 3. So you were close. All right, here we go. Top 2, Mikey. Number 2. Oh, Bruce Smith coming in at 2. Coming in at 2, Bruce Smith for the Bills. And number 1, Mikey was right. Peyton Man.
You should just always say that. Mikey was right. Because that's how this goes.
Mikey was right. Now, I want to see if this list was different now with an updated list.
Red Monster Peyton Manning.
Right. On this list here. So here we go. Ranking the number 1 NFL draft picks last 25 years. So it's not since draft era. And this is current, Mikey. Okay. This is articles from March 31st, 2025. So this is as current as you. Yeah. This is. He's still right. He's still worse 25 years later. And this is current. So this is, by the way, this is Bleacher Report, not NFL anymore. All right. So they have the worst still. So NFL Bleacher Report agrees with
the NFL. He's the worst.
He is the absolute worst. Okay. Coming in at number 24, Courtney Brown. You pretty bad player.
Yeah. He just never panned out.
Yeah, totally forgot about him. Bad player. 23, David Carr.
Okay.
22, Caleb Williams. They already have him on up here.
I mean, I understand why he's this low because he's so new and he didn't do anything.
He's fresh. He's fresh. And it's the last 25 years, so he's on this list. 21, Bryce Young. So far you're cool with this list, how it's going.
I would probably have Caleb above Bryce. Bryce has not looked good.
I agree. Well, Bryce did have a good turnaround second half of the season last year. I'm interested to see what he does this year, but you're right.
Had Caleb
I think the ceiling's a little higher for Caleb. I'm with you there. 20, Sam Bradford. Okay. I mean, he was okay. Jameis Winston at 19. Okay, so Mikey's cool so far with this. He's in Trayvon Walker at 18. All right.
The dude has a ton of sacks.
They really like Clowney. Clowney's coming at 17.
Everyone loves him, and I don't understand why.
and he's stolen so many bags. He's a hype guy. Stolen so many bags, bro.
Jesus.
So many bags of money. Trevor Lawrence is 16. What do you think? About right? I mean, are you with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
Another
right. Okay.
guys that were underneath him that I'm offended that he's over.
Okay.
Jake Long.
Jake Long, he was really good. So I'm with that. Eric Fisher at 14, he was really good.
I think Jake Long was better than Eric Fisher, but that's okay.
I might agree with that too. I think you could swap them out. 13. Now you see how Baker moved up in this list since then? Since the NFL.
I'm not sure I put Baker above either one of those tackles.
You know what? I agree. I'm with you. I think you definitely can move these guys ahead.
Above Lawrence, but I think both those tackles should be above Baker.
I'm with you. I'm with you too. I would put Long ahead of Fisher, and then I would put
Long and Fisher up and put Baker right behind them.
Exactly. So I'm with you there. I agree with you on that one. Kyle Murray at 12. You like that? Kyler Murray at 12?
I still think Long and Fisher are better than Murray. I'd rather have both of them.
I'm with you as far as their careers.
But I do think Murray's above Mayfield right now.
I do agree. I agree with that as well. So we would knock both back, but Murray ahead of Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you.
Tackles above him.
Mario Williams at 11.
That seems low, but okay.
Yep. We'll see how the top 10 plays out.
So good.
Alex Smith at 10.
I have Mario over Alex.
I would too. For as much as I like Alex Smith.
But I'm okay with Alex being in front of both of those tackles.
Okay.
Alex had a really long career and did a lot of really good things in this league.
He did, and he bounced back from a devastating injury and played pretty well.
Yep.
So I'm with you there. 9, Michael Vick. See, I don't know about that. I like Michael Vick, but
I like Michael Vick too. I think Michael Vick would be over Alex, but I still think Mario's better than him.
I agree too. I'm with you there. Coming in at number 8, Jared Goff.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
I think Goff should be sitting, in front of Murray.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't agree with that at all. Okay. Joe Burrow at 7.
That seems
it does. Very interesting to see what top 5 is.
That seems low.
Andrew Luck ahead of him. I don't agree.
I wouldn't put Luck in front of Burrow. Listen, I
wouldn't either.
I think Burrow is very much a product of his talent around him. He's never not played with Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
But Andrew Luck didn't have the career long enough. Andrew Luck could have been better than all of them.
Bro, Andrew Luck could have
wasn't that long. But
he has the
same issues that Burrow has,
injuries, and honestly, the Colts didn't do him right, bro.
Yeah,
their O-line was terrible.
Burrow made it to a Super Bowl. Whether it was his doing or not, he made it to a Super Bowl. You got to put Burrow in front of Luck.
I would too, but I would say this: if the Colts did him right,
I might even put Luck behind Vic.
You might be right too, because Vic's had a longer career.
Mm-hmm.
I think Luck if like I said, if he would have stayed around, got protection, if they built better around him, it just built better around him, he could have been a phenomenal player. But bro,
Spin.
Yeah. What does Spin say?
Spin said Super Bowl's not a QB stat. I understand that.
Yeah.
However, when you look at it, and they both had injuries, they both have a bunch of yards, they've done things. He was able to lead his guys farther. It's not a QB stat, but it could be a tiebreaker.
Let's see. I'm curious what they say here about him. Andrew Luck's career should serve as a cautionary tale to Burrow and the Bengals. The Stanford product was well regarded enough entering the 2012 draft that the Indianapolis Colts were willing to part with future Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. Luck didn't disappoint upon entering the NFL with an elite blend of arm talent, athleticism, and football IQ. He was an instant sensation. Though Luck lost the Rookie of the Year race to number 2 overall pick, RG3, which is crazy. RG3 didn't even make it. Any debate about which was the better pro was short-lived. Both quarterbacks made the playoffs as rookies, but Griffin suffered a torn ACL in the wildcard round and never returned to the postseason. Luck made the playoffs in each of his first 3 seasons before injuries impacted him too. Luck took frequent hits behind a lackluster Colts line, and the injuries piled up. A lacerated kidney limited him to 7 games in 2015, and he missed all of 2017 with a shoulder injury. He returned to start 16 games in 2018, but retired late in the following offseason after another summer of injury rehab. Says, I've come to the proverbial fork in the road, and I made a vow to myself that I would, if I ever did it again, I'd choose me, Luck said in his retirement press conference. And that was that. The surefire Hall of Famer hung up his cleats after 6 seasons, 4 playoff appearances, 4 postseason wins, 4 Pro Bowls, 23,670 yards passing, 1,590 rushing, 185 combined touchdowns, and a 57 and 37 overall record, including playoffs. With a career shorter than many, yet greater than most, Luck remains one of the top draft picks for the 21st century. So now, what do you think? You still agree with? Okay, I'm just going. That is a hell of an earlier career.
That is a very short career.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think the career, a Hall of Famer. I'm with you, Spin.
No, he's not. No. I think they said he would have been a surefire.
I do believe if he would have played longer, he would have been a Hall of Famer. He was really good.
He was, and he was tough.
Short career. What's going on, Captain D?
What up, Captain D's in the house?
Number 5, Palmer. Okay, I can see that.
Yep. So Carson Palmer coming in at 5. So Mikey agrees with that. All right. So here's the top 5. So Palmer's at 5. Cam Newton 4. Mikey. Okay. So Mikey's okay. Number 3, Stafford. Mikey.
Love 3? Stafford. I'm surprised he's 3. I might have had him higher, but go ahead. All
right, here we go. Top 2. Myles Garrett. Boy, things have changed. This is the other list.
Who's number 1?
So guess. Let's take a guess before we go, because I have no idea.
I can't remember.
No idea. God, 25 years. In the last 25 years, Who would
Peyton?
be? So you're
Was
right,
Peyton 25
right?
years ago?
Was
He was
Peyton in
97. Nope.
No, then that's not.
He
It
was
would have been
90s.
2000. It would have been 2000, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
God,
Who
who
is
is? I'm waiting for the chat to see if they real quick. Chat, who do you think before we go? I have no idea. Honestly, did the chat say anybody? Anybody?
Eli?
God, no. You think so?
Oh,
Who
God.
said Eli?
I will throw the spin.
No. Did he
I will
say
throw this.
Eli?
Yeah, no.
All right, here we go, because the chat's too
Who's
slow
number
for this. Number one. Yeah. It's Eli. It's Eli Manning. Oh, no. Well, Mikey, apparently Eli Manning is.
I'm not even going to acknowledge that. No bones about it. Where's Aikman? Aikman was in the last 35 years. Aikman was top 5 in the
in the draft era. The draft era.
Yeah, the draft era one.
Yep.
He was not the best. I'm sorry, no. Eli sits down in like the high, late tens, low teens. I'm sorry, no. Mario is better than Eli. Eli gets all the credit because they won Super Bowls, but no, he was an average quarterback. Oh my God!
So
if his last name wasn't Manning, he would not. No one would look at him that way.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, listen, I'll give him. I'll show him some love because for some whatever reason, in those Super Bowls, Mikey, he brung it. I will say that. Like he was tough.
His career.
No, I know, but I'm just saying. Like I'll give him the love for that, and he did beat New England.
Thank God.
He did also
no perfect season for them.
No perfect season, and he beat him again. So
God, right? That was wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna get to the last thing, and we're gonna get out of here because I know you're hungry.
There's another thing?
There's one more thing. It's Bills trivia. Remember, I said we're gonna do a few Bills trivia each Friday night. This is just Bills trivia, guys. You ready? Here we go. All right. So let's get these couple questions. Let's see here. What was the first season for the Buffalo Bills in the American Football League?
I don't know.
First season.
I have no idea.
In the AFL. So we'll wait for the chat. We'll give it like 30 seconds because they're behind us. So, guys, if you know, don't be looking it up and cheating. First season for the Buffalo Bills in the AFL.
I want to go eat. 1946.
Wrong.
65. 60.
No. Yes. Who said 60?
Weston and Chris both said 60.
They are correct. The Buffalo Bills were established in 1959 as the A team of a charter member in AFL and saw the first action in the opening season of 1960. They were part of the AFL-NFL merger in 1970. All right, next one. And you already know this, so you don't answer this. In 2000, who led the Bills in sacks? Remember I sent you this through text, and you're like, what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, guys, in 2000, who led the Bills in sacks?
And if anybody gets this right, that means they looked it up.
Yeah, don't you be cheating.
No, Alexander.
Don't you be cheating. This is Bill's trivia, baby. I don't want no cheaters.
I said Schobel.
I remember. And I would have said the same, by the way. If I didn't see the answers, I would have 1,000% said it. But no, and this one really surprised me. I didn't know he had those numbers. I was surprised. So we'll give it a couple more seconds because people aren't.
That might be too.
I know they're.
Yeah.
I know we're a little behind. Let's see here. Somebody said Mo out. You mean Zoe? No. But no, that's wrong.
Yeah, he said that it might be too late for Mo. Pop?
Nope.
I like the guess, though. Now you're thinking along the lines.
All right. You're right. All right. Anybody else before we?
Today.
It's not Darius. No. All right. Should we say it now?
Yeah.
All right. The person who led the player that led the team in sacks, Marcellus Wiley, the defensive end, had 10.5 in 2000. His fourth season in Buffalo, he had 13. In 2001, in the Chargers, He was in Dallas and Cowboys. So he had 10 and a half, sorry, in 2000. So he led the team in sacks.
I love the way you think. I thought it was Schobel too.
Uh-huh.
Aaron Schobel was so good.
Me too. Let's see here. A couple more and we'll be done. There's a lot of these, by the way. Okay, in 2001, how many Bills went to the Pro Bowl? Mike, you already know this because we were messing around through the text, and you were wrong on this one as well. So, guys, in 2001,
what was my answer? What, we had Pro Bowlers in there in the draft?
Yeah, you couldn't believe it. So, 2001. Spin says 6. Spin, come on, stop it.
4.
Daniel got it right. 4. Eric Moulds, Ted Washington, Sam Cowart, and Reuben Brown. Okay. I mean, those are all solid players. So, believe it or not, even those drought years, Mikey, we're still getting Pro Bowlers. Okay. So, let's see here.
Oh, Moulds, that's right. Moulds was so good.
All right. Which team was defeated by the Bills in the AFC Championship game by 48 points? Mikey, you should know this one. Which team, AFC Championship game, did the Bills just destroy? 48 points. This was a hyped up game. The team we were playing, I'll give you a clue, talking a lot of shit. They had a guy on the defense that was shit talker.
Raiders.
You got it. The Raiders. So that is correct. It was the Raiders.
Ted Washington, the best nose tackle ever.
All right, here's one. Which year did defensive end Bruce Smith miss a majority of games due to knee problems? Which year?
God, was it 97 or 96?
No.
Or was it earlier than that?
Nope, you're wrong. Anybody in the chat? What year? 2001? No.
What year was it?
1991.
91.
He only recorded 1.5 sacks in that year. I guess so. Yeah. So only year he missed the majority of the games in 1991.
Chris
After that. Okay. Very good, Chris. All right. We'll get a few more. Right? He has. Good job, man. I'm proud of you guys. Some of these are tough. Beginning with the 2008 season, the Bills play one home game in what Canadian city? This one's easy. Come on, Mikey. I mean, this one's easy.
Toronto.
What Canadian city did the Toronto? Yes. Let's see here. That was easier. Where did Bruce Smith play college football?
You got it.
Where did Bruce Smith play his college football at?
Bruce Smith? I have no idea.
Yeah, Mike. See, I knew this one because one of my favorite players. But guys, where did Bruce Smith play? Oh, Daniel got it right.
Virginia Tech. That's right.
Virginia Tech. That's right. Let's see here. Do a few more and we're done.
The greatest Hokies of all time.
Okay. At the time when he started the Bills, owner Ralph Wilson was also a minority owner of what other professional team?
He was a minority owner of another team?
Yeah, I knew this too, but yes.
Was it the Raiders?
No. I'll give you a clue. He also lived there.
Oh, Detroit.
Yes. Very good, Mike.
So I got one for you.
Go ahead.
What NFL team did Ralph Wilson loan money to allow them to stay in the league?
I think Cleveland, right?
Not Cleveland.
Or was it Baltimore?
Not Baltimore.
No, was it the Colts?
Wasn't the Colts.
I don't know why I'm thinking. Who was it? I forget. Who was it? God, I should know this.
It was the Raiders.
Was it the Raiders?
Yeah.
What a nice guy. See,
Raiders,
I didn't even know that.
Daniel got it.
A nice guy. See, I didn't. I don't know why I was thinking Cleveland.
Money so he could pay his players to stay.
You're right, because they came from. You're right. They were in the same. I should have known that. Good one, Mikey. I like that one. Let's see here. Do a few more and we're out of here. Trying to see.
He's trying to get close to that 2 hours to say he stayed under it as possible.
I know, right?
Just alone, baby. Just alone.
God, I'm trying to see some of these are so like you would know that very easy. Okay, which Super Bowls did Scott Norwood kick in? Which Super Bowls?
Norwood?
Yeah. You don't have to. By the way, you don't have to say the XX. You just the teams.
Yeah, it was 90 and 91, I believe.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 91, 92. But yeah, you're right.
It was 91, 90. Oh, well, yeah, that was the year they played in, but it was the
Right.
91 season.
Exactly. So that was the easy one. Which team defeated the Bills in their only playoff appearance of the 1970s? Which team defeated the Bills? I don't know this, by the way. You have to be an old school head.
What?
And their only playoff appearance in the 70s. So they only made the playoffs one time in the 70s, and they beat us. I want to know this, by the way. I'm not an old school head, but I'll tell you anyways. Yes. It was Pittsburgh Steelers.
Weston Chiefs.
It was the Steelers. Oh my God! And that's it for tonight. That's all I got.
That's a Chiefs guy through and through right there.
Oh, you know what? Last one. Who was the 1996 U.S. Republican vice presidential nominee that was also the quarterback for the 1964 and 65 AFL champion Buffalo Bills? 1996 U.S. Republican vice presidential nominee. I didn't even know this, by the way.
Kemp.
You're right. Jack Kemp. Yeah.
DG, Chris got that one.
Yeah, very good. Damn, bro. I gotta say, some of these questions are not easy.
They all got it. Yeah.
Really? I had no idea. Who was the Bills?
I was trying to think which Bills were that were in office after
in that era.
Right. I was trying to remember, like, who was it?
Who was the Bills head coach from 78 to 82? This one I knew, by the way.
I don't know that one.
Anybody? Bills head coach?
Bueller.
From Bueller. 78 to 82.
Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller. It was Chuck Knox.
Oh, DG got it.
Did he? Good, man. Yeah. I'm honestly, man. You guys
Chris too.
Surprised
Chris
me.
and DG both got it. Nice.
Very awesome. Good job. Who was the first 1,000-yard AFL rusher that played for the Bills?
First 1,000 yards AFL rusher?
Yep.
Was it OJ?
No.
Wasn't OJ?
AFL. Remember the AFL league?
Yeah.
The 60s. No.
Okay. Because OJ wasn't until 70s, so okay.
Right.
I have no idea who was. Cookie?
You got it, Mikey. Cookie. Cookie got it.
Spin got it too. DG got it.
1,096 with 13 touchdowns, which at the time was an AFL record.
And as a fullback, because he wasn't a halfback. Cookie was a fullback.
Yeah. Yep. So good job, man. So good job, guys. That's it. That's your Bills trivia for the night. And Mikey's hungry, and we're done, man. It was awesome. I had another fun Friday night with you guys, man. We're just coming up with some new topics. We're going to be doing this from every Friday night, just coming up with fun stuff for you guys to be, playing along with us. So entertain. So we appreciate you guys once again.
Mikey can starve 3 more hours.
We'll be back next Friday at 9:00. Appreciate you guys once again for all your support. Thank you so much. And Bills Mafia, you guys rule. And as always, go Bills.
Before you go.
Go ahead.
Weston said, what 2 teams was Mark Levy?
Chiefs. Chiefs and the Bills, right? Wasn't
Mark
Chiefs?
Levy was head coach of the Chiefs?
Chiefs, I believe so, wasn't he? I think that's why Weston's asking that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Let me look this up real quick.
I can swear it was the Chiefs, bro.
It might have been. Tell me.
And it's funny because Weston's asking. Chiefs fan. I'm pretty sure it's the Chiefs, bro. I don't know why. I just remember him being in the Chiefs.
Yep. He was the Chiefs.
Damn, Marv Levy. Oh, my God. Cookie. All right, man. So we're out of here, man.
Right,
hey, Bills Mafia, you guys rule. All you guys rule. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. We'll be here next week, next Friday at 9 p.m. Bills Mafia, we love you. And as always, go Bills. We're out of here. Peace.
Bills.
Go Bills.
Bills.